day, never lose focus. Keep chasing that bag, but what they say, you did the homework. You did the homework. You did the homework.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Hypman representing Ottawa on the Rise. And I got a special guest, legend of the game, been here for a while. Rapper known as 9-4, formerly known as 9-4, now goes by 9thilly, but you can call him Mark. You know what I mean? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man.
Blessed up to have you.
What it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so I'm going to start it off. What's your opinion on the Ottawa hip-hop scene?
Ottawa hip-hop scene, because, like, for me, like, it goes so deep because, like, I'm talking about, like, foundations of, like, Ottawa hip-hop. So, like, the early groups. So, I mean, the Maestro Fresh Wes did his thing.
Yeah.
And he was he's the godfather of Canadian hip-hop, you know? So, but that was Toronto. He did have his Ottawa ties, but Ottawa hip-hop itself, I'm talking about, like, for the heads who know, I'm talking about Clarence Gruff. I'm talking about, what's that Tom Green group?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Organized Rhyme. Yeah, so man's helping me out there. You know.
Circuit helping out.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, I'm talking about, like, the foundations, because, like, for example, like, Clarence Gruff, like, that kind of, like, shaped what I do, because I looked at Clarence Gruff as, like, they're right around the corner. Okay. They rap, they're on much music, so they could do it. Who's to say I can't? So at that point, like, I just kind of, like, started rapping more. I'm like, oh, I could get my stuff out there because of, like, groups like that. So, like, I mean, Ottawa hip-hop is, like, it's from that to what it is now, which I see, like, there's a lot of artists out now.
Yeah,
a lot of artists, which is, so it went from having a couple artists and a couple people doing their thing to, like, what it is now. Like, every day there's, like,
I remember, like, when I first started, I was probably about, like, started actually putting shit out there. I was probably about 18, 19. I'm 28 now, going on 29, and I'm like, damn, like, the way that people were moving, too, on top of that was a lot different. You know what I mean? And now it's like, damn, you got mad people just coming with the woodworks. And people hit me up. I'm like, nigga, you rap? All right. Shit, all right, send me your shit. I'm going to check it out. We get it back to you. We get it in. You know what I mean?
I say the difference, but, like, the difference, but also the similarity with that is that's always been happening. So, like, even when, like, I started rapping, everybody and their grandmama was rapping. But they didn't put out videos, and, like, there wasn't, like, oh, the latest this and that. They didn't have that media. So they would still do it, but it wasn't, like, publicized. But I feel like now it is. So everybody and their grandmama, grandpapa, uncle, aunt, great nephew, they all spit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're good.
Yeah.
You know, they all spit, but they didn't have that, like, media. But I think now, like, social media, the way it is, you could touch wherever in the world from where you are. They have a platform now.
Yeah, there's a big platform now. Yeah, social media. So big ups to social media. Woodwork's helping us.
Social media, if you are watching, big up yourself. We're bigging you up. So
all right. So what made you transition from being, a rapper to now being a graphic designer, and you do your comics? You had an ad in the XXL magazine. You know what I mean? So what made you go, you know what, let's stop?
This is actually the Double XL magazine. I just happen to have this with me. It's not that I carry it around everywhere for the social media watchers. So
yeah, for y'all clout chasers.
That's with Meek Mill and Ricky Rose. So in that, I have, actually, when I was doing my first tour.
Okay.
So there's an article on Action Bronson. Next one, we got an ad for my comic book. So, like I was saying before, like, I don't know if there's any other Ottawa artists or entrepreneurs who have been in a publication like this. But
Okay.
Next page, we got article by Raekwon.
Like I've said before in past interview before, 9thilly is the person that actually made my Hip Hop Industries logo, and my cartoon character as well. And actually, he did another Hip Hop Industries logo as well too. So he's done 2 of them for me, plus my mixtape cover for the Go Hard or Get Lost mixtape. So again, big ups for that. Today, you know what I mean, actually touched me with some love right here and gave me this beautiful artwork framed and everything of my fallen soldiers. You know what I mean? Homeboys, best friends, you know what I mean? Whatever you call it, your day ones. That's the boys right here, so salute for that one too as well.
Salute.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of work man's is bringing to the table, you know what I mean? So check that. That's it. So what made you change from being a rapper to being, the graphic designer and whatnot?
I mean, I've always, not a lot of people know, but like, as nice as I am on the mic and in the studio with music, I'm 3 times as nice drawing. I'm about like 4 years old. Like, I just picked up a pencil and never put it down. So like, that was the difference between, because everybody has the potential to do what I can do.
Exactly.
Artistically. Yeah. It's like, it's just that time. So I started from 4 till now, and this is the result.
Mm-hmm.
Hard
work pays off.
Yeah. So I started the drawing first, and then later I'm talking about like maybe junior high. Like I started getting into the music, but the music heavy. So like I looked at the artists who were actually doing something and saying something that had a certain sound. So I'm talking about like Redman, like whole Def Squad, DOS Effects, like
okay,
artists like this who like Biggie, who really kind of shaped what I do because I followed their best songs and their bodies of work.
Okay.
Some coffee.
Get in you. Feel like I need a wake up call. I need my chai tea.
But I mean, so I discovered music at that point, and what I actually did was I put down the pencil for a while. So I started to do music, and I started to do music heavy. So I was in the studio all the time, like, yo, I want to do this. I can do this.
Yes.
So one of the first raps I wrote, it was, and this has never been put out there. I've been rapping since I have a different name. I might reveal the name later on if you remind me. You know what I mean? But yeah, from like the first rap I wrote, I knew I was nice. Like that's not even me to say like, oh, I got a big head about it or whatever. But like the first rap I wrote was nice. So like I knew, like I never started out like, okay, gradually getting better, obviously, but like my first rap was not whack, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
So I'm like, yo, let me keep doing this. And so it came down to it. I was like a studio rat, so I was in the studio all the time. My boy had a studio out of his crib, just in it was like a little room, some ghetto shit, you know what I mean? But like,
gotta start somewhere.
So on weekends, I would just sleep there and like just record. I was like just
heavy
in music mode, you know.
Yeah.
I do that every weekend for time. Came out with an album. It was actually one of, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the first like albums because I wanted to do not just mixtapes but like albums that was like sold in like HMVs and places like that, promoted real nice. So I did the album. I did the artwork for the album. So I don't think that's ever been seen by like an Ottawa artist at that time.
Okay.
They did their own cover work.
They did the whole.
Like I did the whole thing. So at this point, I still kind of was dabbling in the art because of covers and but not heavy.
A little bit.
Yeah, not heavy, and I didn't even think of the comic idea at this point. So I'm just like still like music. Came out with 2 more mixtapes, and then I'm like, yo, I do both. Why not connect those 2 worlds? So I picked up the pencil again, but I still had the mic in the other hand. You know what I mean? So I was still doing both, and I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? I'm a creative guy. I like these shows like I won't say it's like Empire, If anything, I would say, and you could print this on the Ottawa on the Rise show, Boom exclusive, and I'll wear this. My comic idea came out before Empire. Empire has flashes of what my story is about in the comic. I'm not saying Empire stole or borrowed or anything like that, but if you read my comic and you watch Empire, you'll see the similarities, and mine came out first. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for that ass, nigga. Thanks for that ass. Somebody might be paying some paper.
You know, I'm here. So that's how I came up with the comics. So it all came together, and I just started thinking of ideas and how can I put myself in it. Because at a young age, coming into the music, I was really blinded by the whole fact of, if I rap, I'm going to get a record deal, I'm going to get money, I'm going to get cars, girls, all this. That was what was sold to me through the music. So I'm like, real talk, I bang music all the time. So I'm like, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me try to do this. This is why I want to do this, to get money and like things like that.
Yeah.
And when it didn't work out like that, I'm like, there had to be a reason. Let me come at this a different way. So started working, and I just came out with this piece of product right here, 9thilly comic. So what I did is I put a younger version of myself in the comic. You know what I mean? So it's a younger version of me. So what if I got a record deal at a young age instead of, like, I definitely didn't get a record deal. It's not because I wasn't nice. I'm still nice. You know? But what if I had a record deal at that time, and this would be my life? You know, so that's how I put myself in it. Mm-hmm. And that's not even to say the soundtrack. Like, the soundtrack is finished. It's done. It's ready. But that's coming with book 2. This is book 1. And but yeah, that's how I'm like putting the music. So that's how I kind of like juggle both of them until they became one. One was the left hand, one was the right.
So what's the concept behind book 2, number 2?
Book 2 is a continuation of book 1. Book 1 was more to just introduce you to the characters and a little glimpse into their life. You always see them with the chains, because the chains are very important in the story. The chains are like a character in it itself. Okay. Each one of the chains that the artists wear. But book 2 is just a continuation of book 1. So book 2, there's a lot more cameos. I bring in a lot new different characters, exciting characters. Like, not just characters like, okay, they come and they go. It's like, you see them, you remember them. Mm-hmm. The lingo, I try to keep it true, because as much as it's a comic and it's like something that I've created in my head, is based on reality as well. You know, so real people can relate. Yeah. You know, for example, like, there's 4 artists signed to the label, Sin City Records, and one of them is Zigzag. So he's about that life. That's why he's called Zigzag, A.K.A. Ziggy Marley. Okay. I mean, so he represents like the blood gang. So if you know like gang shit, he's that representation of the book. I do also, you know, play with like Bloods and Crips in there, as in like introducing certain characters, but staying true to what a Blood or a Crip would be. Okay. You know, so like if you're any of those, you're gonna love this. Another character signed to the record label is Kama Sutra. So she's like a battle rapper but like she looked like if Nicki Minaj was a battle rapper. Okay. And then like won a contest and got a record deal. This is Kama Sutra. Okay. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I got some for the ladies too. Even the guys, you know, you're getting a lot of comments about Kama Sutra, but you know, that's a different podcast. That's a different episode. Yeah. So I try to put all aspects of everything into the comics. So it's I actually forgot the original question, because I just went in and I told you to catch me, man. If I see,
yo, see me, yo, nigga, I'm high too, man. I was like, nigga, do I cut him off or do I? No, it sounds too interesting. Keep going, nigga. Keep going. I ain't stopping, so you stop, nigga. But okay. So you've worked with a lot of different, celebrities, artists in the game from Ottawa and Toronto, all these areas.
Mm.
Who would you say would be your favorite either character that you drew or that you've had the chance to meet? And if you have a story behind it, give us a quick little story for that.
I got a couple stories.
Alright, so just give us one. Give us your main favorite that what stands out in your mind. You know what I mean? That was like, yo, that made your shit.
I would have to say, because I'm a huge Mobb Deep fan, and this is one of the main reasons. Like, for the first book, I had a feature by Raekwon. So each book, I want to have a legend featured in it. That's what you're gonna look out for. First one, Raekwon. Second book is gonna be Mobb Deep, so that's confirmed. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Before he passed, we actually he did like 2 shows in Ottawa.
Yeah, I seen the picture.
Yeah,
you guys.
so met up with him, and I just chopped it real quick. Like, I did a character of Mobb Deep and presented it to them. They signed it in gold, like not a gold pen, like that, but like gold ink. So like, to me, that was something. And then just to have Prodigy videotaping my artwork, me being a huge fan of this legend, and saying, yo, whatever you want, like, let's do this. And like, just agreeing to like what I'm saying. And what I was saying is, I want to have you as a feature in the second book. And this is what I'm doing. Boom. I know the Mobb Deep, Raekwon, Wu-Tang family is like deep.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's another reason you agreed to it. So like, I even have footage of him like reading through the book and loving it. So that would be a moment that like really stood out for me. And then after that, 10 minutes later, they're on stage rocking the crowd at Ritual. So this is like, okay, I'm not saying like I motivated them, but it's like, this is what Mobb Deep has birthed. This is like, I'm like their son at that point. Like,
they was definitely, Shook Ones was definitely fucking classic. That'll never get old. You know what I mean? I can pump that any day. I can't wait to get my car and pump that bitch. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, that's a big up right there. Again, R.I.P. to Prodigy.
yes.
You know what I mean? Me and Respecting Hip Hop are doing this top 5 countdown sort of thing. And we're asking, he's asking, going in people's lives and all that, trying to get, people's top 5s. Who would be, over this week, from like mainstream artists to Ottawa artists that you've listened to in the last week that you say consistently, who would be your top 5?
Like top 5 right now?
Just over this week.
And did it have to be from Ottawa? Or
No,
like
they don't have to be from Ottawa. We'd like for you to get one in there, but if you're not, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would definitely, and this is not in any order.
No order. Just.
So I mean, I can tell you what's on my playlist. So my playlist I got right now. I got that new Dave East Styles P.
Yeah, that's
so.
A banger.
It's more than it's fire. Like, I mean, like, and it's not just the fact that it's like a dope collabo. When I saw that, I fell off my chair, dog. I was sitting on it. I fell off my chair because I was like, when was this gonna happen? This needed to happen from, a lot of people are saying like Dave East is the 4th member of the Locks. You know what I mean? But it was a dope project. So that's what I've been like playing over and over. And actually, the artist coming out now is motivated by that. Because like, I don't want to go too deep, but anyways, that's my 5. That's one. Who else? Who else is fire right now? I'm hearing some like on top, like doing it now, or like that I'm bumping.
Just like what that you're bumping.
Travis Scott. I mean, like he he's a next level kind of artist, and he does his own beats too. So
Yeah. I fuck with Travis Scott.
Yeah. Because I mean, this is hard. It's a hard question.
I know.
Because like I mean, there's artists who have come out from before who have projects now, who if I don't say them, I feel like I'm letting them down because I'm a fan from their other stuff. Definitely J. Cole is in there.
Okay, J. Cole.
So we got Cole. I also would say Kendrick.
Speaking of which, nigga, what's your thought on Kamikaze? I gotta ask this question.
I mean, I heard a couple tracks.
Yeah, I didn't hear the full thing, but I heard enough to be able to give an opinion.
Me, I'm an Eminem fan, but I'm talking about Eminem like when he first came out. He kind of
Eminem slash
like I'm
just
huge,
going into shady like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, cause when he went into shady, it was like, there were some songs that were like cool, catchy, but then there was like, okay, you went a little too far.
Yeah.
But like when he was before the full transition into Slim Shady, like it was just M, but he was starting to go there.
Yeah.
Was like his best shit.
Yeah. Even like I even like the Eminem shit where he like made a resurgence back to the mixtape battling era. So like, because that's what he's from. So like when G Unit got signed on, and like they were bombing on Ja, and M had some tracks in there that was like okay. I guess 50 brought something, lit a fire.
Yeah,
and
he lit a fire under that.
But I like that mixtape Eminem too. But now, I mean, he still has that fire. You can tell he still has like that passion. But I don't know. I mean, like,
hey, that's good enough for me. Don, we can move on to the next question because I said it was.
Are you talking about the battle though?
No, I'm talking about fucking Kamikaze in general. The album, it's I.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't.
Another nigga said it was okay. So yeah, nigga, you getting a mediocre and level 5 out of 10 on that mixtape for me.
Yeah, I mean like I want to hear, but this is just me personally. Like I want to hear that Eminem from before because I feel like now he's kind of trying to rap like. How to rap it, yeah, and like
stay out of it. Go back to your shit.
Like that was like the dope Eminem, you know, and
All right, where are you from?
Where I'm from?
Where are you from?
I'll put it like this: I'm a can of jam.
You're a can of jam.
I'm a can of jam.
Nigga, what the fuck?
So yeah.
Explain that, because nigga, I'm lost, nigga.
My man understand.
Yeah, man. Circle understand. I'm here looking like, nigga, what in the fuck he just made? What's that mean?
So, and there's people who could relate, but like, I'm a can of jam. So I was born in Canada, but both my parents are Jamaican.
I get it, man.
So like, I have Jamaican blood, but my body was born here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So can of jam. You heard it here first.
All right.
Feel free to use it. I won't even charge. It's not copyrighted.
Niggas gonna start using that shit too. But they're sure you start asking me questions. They think I'm Jamaican. I've been saying I'm kind of job, nigga.
Yeah, and it can work. It can work for the creativity.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your influences when you're going to make a to pick your let's say your artist that you wanted to build or your comic? How do you visualize that?
Like who I want to be in it?
And how he's gonna be dressed and what he's gonna be look like.
It's a lot of my mind never stops working. Like that's one thing about me that like once again you're getting exclusive shit right here. Like nobody knows this, but this is the artist side of me. I'm always thinking. I can't turn off my brain. When I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about the next thing I'm going to put on paper.
Okay.
So it's like I'm just always. So it's easy to me. Like I can see someone a video, like say like a Locks video, and like how they're dressed, I can be like, okay, yeah, one of my characters that wardrobe would fit this character. Let me get some still shots of it and like kind of design it on them, you know, for their fit. So it's just a matter of me just never not thinking.
Okay.
So it's easy to me at this point.
Alright.
But I mean, as far as legends go, like having the features, you're talking about that too?
Yeah, we can put that in there too as well.
Well, I mean, for the first book, like I was listening to a lot of Wu, and just how I wanted to introduce certain characters, like you could tell it, the influence of, there's a hip hop influence from that type of artist, you know? So I was listening to a lot of Raekwon for the first one, plus it helped out that, kind of reached out and got a good response from his people. So that's how I was able to even use Raekwon in the first book. So he was a shoo-in, like you, that's you, you know, first book. Second book, Mobb Deep. So there's a couple shows where there was like meet and greet, so I met up with them, chopped up the idea. They said, okay, cool, let's do this. And so that's the why they're in book 2. Now book 3, like I'm talking head, but like this can at least go to 9 books.
Okay.
So we're still in the beginning stages of like who could be featured in it. But book 3, I kind of would like to see J. Cole in that.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
That will be revealed more when book 2 comes out. But yeah.
All right.
That's how I like visualize.
All right. Well, we're almost about wrapped up for this interview. But before we go, I ask you one question first, and then we're going to get into this next segment I normally do, which is called What Would You Do? But before we do that, what would you change in Ottawa if you had the power to do so? Doesn't matter what it is.
Not even on a music tip.
No, not even on this tip.
I don't want to say I'd get into politics, but there's a lot of politics that kind of run the city and say, this should be like this, this should be like this, this should be like this, without really the massives having a say in it.
Okay.
So I would want the massives, the majority of the city to have a decision on things that happen in the city.
Okay.
So like I said, it's not me getting into politics, but I would want to see that change. Because right now, I don't think if people even notice, but like Ottawa's kind of crazy in the way things are done, you know? So like on that level. And I think everything else would kind of fall into place from there. But you got to start at the top. Yeah, I'm not saying because I love my city, but there's certain things that could change and could be different, and I'd want to see that. So like, I'm not saying if I was put in charge of that, like I would do this.
Nah.
But you know, it's to have the masses kind of vote on it.
Yeah.
Like, we want this to
say,
improve.
have an opinion.
Yeah, because right now it's like we don't. It just happens. And
yeah, it happens, and if we agree with it, we agree with it. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
Basically. All right. Well, on to the next segment. What would you do? All right. So, first question.
Might have to sip some coffee.
First question. What would you do if you had the possibility to meet either Big Pun, Tupac, or Biggie? What would you do?
Like, who would I choose?
Nah, just what would you do if you had the opportunity to hang out with any 3 of them or meet any 3 of those guys? What would you do?
I
figured they're all big names, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, because, like, I'm a huge Big fan. I'm a huge Big Pun fan. But I'm also a huge Tupac fan. And not just for the music. Like, other view. Like, and that actually ties into what I was just saying, because, like, I look at it if and once again, this is exclusive on the OttawaOnTheRise show. Exclusive. If Tupac was still alive today, the world itself would be different. I believe that.
I do.
Because
I do that.
certain,
a lot.
if you look at it, like certain artists wouldn't have come out. There would be, I think there would be more of a balance if he was here, and I could see him being president.
Yeah.
At one time. Why? Because look who's president right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
when you put it like that, that's true shit right there.
Like I mean, Tupac he knew what he was talking about. He was a natural born leader from the Black Panther Party. Like he was born from that. So like he's a natural born leader. There's certain people who are born leaders, and there's people who they try to be leaders by studying other true leaders. He was a true leader. Mm-hmm. So for him to actually even run for politics, I could totally see him do that. He was killed at what age? A very young age. Malcolm X,
Well, on to the next segment. What would you do? Alright. So first question.
I have to sip some coffee.
First question. What would you do if you had the possibility to meet either Big Pun, Tupac, or Biggie? What would you do?
Like, who would I choose?
Nah, just what would you do if you had the opportunity to hang out with any three of them or meet any three of those guys? What would you do? I figured they're all big names, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, because, like, I'm a huge Big fan. I'm a huge Big Pun fan. But I'm also a huge Tupac fan, and not just for the music, like other view, like, and that actually ties into what I was just saying, because like I look at it if and once again this is exclusive on the Ottawa on the Rise show, exclusive. If Tupac was still alive today, mm-hmm. the world itself would be different. I believe that.
I do.
Because
I do that.
certain, a lot. If you look at it, like certain artists wouldn't have come out. I think there would be more of a balance if he was here, and I could see him being president. Yeah. At one time. Why? Because look who's president right now. Yeah. Yeah. So like,
when you put it like that, that's true shit right there.
Like I mean, Tupac he knew what he was talking about. He was a natural born leader from the Black Panther Party. Like he was born from that. So like he's a natural born leader. There's certain people who are born leaders, and there's people who they try to be leaders by studying other true leaders. He was a true leader. Mm-hmm. So for him to actually even run for politics, I could totally see him do that. He was killed at what age? A very young age. At a time where Malcolm X was in his life, he was still like on the streets, like he was still before he was Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. You know, so, and look what he became. If Tupac followed that same suit, look what he could have become. You know, so that goes back to the whole, like, not really politics, because I don't really like to talk politics that much, but it's all in politics. So I want to meet with Pac, however possible. Like if it's like some Black Mirror episode where they got a thing, and then you can like talk to his whatever his being. I'll do that. So much questions I'll have for this man.
Okay. All right. So that's what's up. Now, question number 2. What would you do if you got stranded on an island?
By myself?
Yeah, by yourself. Like some Tom Hanks shit.
Damn. I actually didn't see that movie, but I saw like things where he has the ball and he's talking to the ball going crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd try to get off. Well, depending. Okay, is there ample amount of food there?
Yeah, there's you gotta find it though. Like it ain't like it's like you got bananas floating right there, some coconuts. That's not like your obvious edible shit. Like you gotta literally pick and choose and hope to God that nigga shit is safe. You know what I mean?
Just have your 4-leaf clover on you.
Yeah, just hope. Nigga, I'm lucky. Alright, nigga. Edible, nigga. Alright, let's eat this shit.
Well, first I would probably teach myself to swim.
Why, you don't know how to swim? Hey, there you go. There you go. He's gonna do a lot of time swimming, nigga.
And then try to get the fuck off that island. Because at that point, there's so many questions I have based on that question. So many questions. How did I get on the island? Did I crash land? Is there a plane that I could have maybe fixed the radio and like call for assistance or some, you know?
Hey, that. Next question.
I danced around that one, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's done. I just moonwalked right around that.
Alright, question number 3. What would you do if you were to end up homeless tomorrow?
Homeless with no money.
Homeless as in you have nothing to your name, nothing. It's like basically you starting all over.
Yeah. I mean, do I have kids in this scenario?
If you want to add those kids in this scenario, nigga, I didn't say no kids.
Okay, so in this scenario, I'm guessing there's no kids.
No, there's no kids.
So
just you.
And I still can do what I can do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd probably go
just
even.
homeless.
Yeah, I'd probably go even harder. Like, I mean, if anything, I'll say maybe blow up faster. Because I could be wherever. More dedicated, and because it could come to a point where I need to, like, sell this drawing to, like, have my next meal.
Yeah.
You know? So it's kind of like, stomach's grumbling, like, okay, how do I fix that?
Yeah.
You know, so by any means. So, I mean, I look at it as more of a dedication to, like, want to not have to do that, you know? And I mean, like, I look at, even on King Edward, like, as you stroll by King Edward right there, at all. King Edward.
I drove down past that.
So, I mean...
I walked past, I buzzed past, I've been by there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's kind of crazy down there. Like, you drive down, and me, I work for my money. And for you to not do anything, and for me to give money that I worked for, it doesn't make sense to me. Why am I working to support you? I don't even know you.
Hey, I look at it as good karma. Hey, tell me what you really want with the shit, and you might get a couple bucks.
Or even,
nigga, I want crack. Alright, nigga, here. You need it.
And
withdrawals. Go ahead, take it.
And even, like, I don't have a problem with giving someone money, but I want you to, like, do something for that. Like, I did something, like, maybe I picked up this and I carried this from over here to there and I got paid.
Yeah.
Do something. I'll give you money. Like, I seen...
20 push-ups, bitch.
Let's
give it out.
I mean, like, I seen, like, one guy, like, I was just passing by, I seen this one guy doing this to this homeless guy. He's like, I'm not going to just give you money for nothing. Like, do a dance or something. Or you can't dance, try to do something that's going to entertain me. I'll give you money. He did it. The man was entertained because he wasn't a good dancer. And he gave him money. So that's what I mean. Little things, do something. Don't do nothing.
Yeah. Alright, man. You watching Ottawa on the Rise with 9thilly, A.K.A 9thilly, A.K.A Mark. Holla at your boy. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and, you know, stay tuned.
Bam.
You did the homework. If you believe in your dream, just put in hard work. Cause people gon' hate at the end of the day, never lose focus. Keep chasing that bag, but what they say, you did the homework. You did the homework. You did the homework.